Questions I've been getting lately is, what do I do to start? What do I do if I don't have equipment? Now, I don't know the unique situation you're in. I don't know what kind of economic climate you're in. A lot of this is just based on my personal experience and kind of targeted to those of us living stateside. Now, one of the best things you could do is you could build your own home studio and get your own video recording setup. I did a whole video about that. 2 things every artist should have. So check that out if you haven't. But I want to speak to a deeper question besides this: where do I start if I don't have equipment? You need to go out and figure out a way to make some extra money so you can get some equipment. You don't need a whole bunch of fancy gear. Nowadays, you can build a pretty nice sounding setup for around $1,000 to $2,000. So the pushback may be, well, I don't have an extra $1,000 or $2,000. Well, you need to go work. You need to go earn some money. You need to go hustle. You need to do some different things. You're probably not gonna do that if you're living paycheck to paycheck. You're probably not gonna do that if you're going to the movies every single weekend and you're eating out all the time. But the deeper question is, what do you want more? Do you want the comforts of leisure and the comforts of all these different things that we waste our money on? Or do you want to pursue your passion and your goal of being a creative? So you have to figure out a way to work. You got to figure out a way to hustle. My advice to you guys to make an extra $2,000 to $3,000 to get your own setup is to figure out more entrepreneurial ways. Right now, we are in the most technologically advanced era ever. You can drive for Uber, you can drive for Amazon, you can hop on one of those babysitting apps, you can do one of those service apps where you run errands for people, you can go mow lawns, you can clean houses, you can shed snow if you have that in your area. There is so many different ways you can do to make extra money. If you do something more entrepreneurial, if you do something more self-starter, it's going to do 2 things. One, it's going to help you make more money, oftentimes double the minimum wage, $20 an hour doing stuff like driving for somebody or running errands for somebody. And what it'll also do is it'll help you develop the business mindset and the entrepreneurial skills and abilities that a lot of you need to develop to become successful in your creative entrepreneurial venture. That if you could develop some of those skills from hustling, if you could develop some of those skills from doing something a little out of the box instead of just flipping burgers, that is going to give you an edge over the next guy who's just a creative and doesn't think about business and doesn't think about margins and doesn't think about what their time is worth. So I would encourage all you guys, man, figure out a way to make some extra money. Again, I don't know what your personal situation is. I don't know where you live. If you're not living under a capitalistic nation like we have here in America, this may not apply to you. But right now, we live in one of the coolest eras ever where everybody can figure out a way to scrape together an extra $2,000 to $3,000, get your own home setup, get your own laptop, get your own microphone, or if you already have that, invest in a camera, invest in some software to edit. So go out there, man, figure it out, figure out some money. Check out Gary Vee right now is doing a challenge for 2017 on how to take all the extra stuff in your house and sell it that you don't use. They say most people have around $5,000 of just extra junk sitting in their house that they can get rid of. You can use an app like OfferUp, you can use eBay, Craigslist, all these different things, garage sales. Figure out what those things are that you don't need, or maybe figure out a way to flip. There's so many different ways to make extra money. So the last thing I want to hear from any of you guys is, I don't have the money to get the equipment. That is not an excuse if you're living in America in 2017. You have to figure that out, guys. And once you get your setup, what do you need to do to get started? You need to start. You need to start creating content. You need to start creating music, start creating videos, start creating whatever it is your thing is, and you need to finish it. Most of you guys love to start new projects and start being creative, but you don't ever finish songs. You don't ever finish your videos. Try to finish everything you start. You don't have to release everything you start, but try to finish everything you start. So once you have your own home setup, man, start trying to complete a full song. Complete 10 of them. Once you have 5 or 10 songs, show them to a couple close friends that are gonna keep it real with you and ask them what they honestly think. Don't be lazy, don't cut corners, and start releasing those pieces of content. So start by finishing. Finish something creative. Finish that first beat, finish that first song, finish that first video, finish that first comic strip, whatever it is that you're doing. So listen, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys' support. I'm going to give you all the information I can, all the tools I can, all the things I've done to hopefully further what you're doing and help you eliminate some of the own excuses in your head. So if you found this video valuable, please share it, like it, subscribe, leave me a comment. What other questions you have? I'm going to try to make as many of these videos as I possibly can. Thank you so much for checking us out. What's that? Just because it failed doesn't mean it didn't work. What's that? Just cause it failed doesn't mean it didn't. Sun up, sun down, run up.